Hi everyone, welcome to Borderless Heritage, where culture collide and connection thrive. I'm Che from Taiwan, and I will be your host today. Join me with
Nilu from Iran,
Magda from Mexico,
Valeria from Nicaragua.
To our topic today. Now that we entered February, the cold winter should be coming to the end, right? We have a super chilly but fun Christmas between our first and second season. And of course, New Year too. Let's kick off our second season with the term of New Year. While many places celebrate the New Year's on January 1st, in Taiwan and the most Southeast or East Asia region, we also celebrate the Lunar New Year. This can be considered one of the most important holidays for us, similar to Christmas in Germany. However, the celebration dates usually change every year since it follows the lunar calendar. This year, the Lunar New Year started on February 10th. But for us, the celebration began on February 9th, similar to like December 21st. This is the day we start eating, drinking, and have fun. Actually, before the whole celebration, we need to do a lot of work in the house. You need to buy new clothes, new shoes. You need to clean like whole houses. You need to throw everything like extra in the house away and bring new things back. That's the preparation for the New Year's. And for the New Year's Eve, the family will come together and have a big dinner and wait until 12 a.m. when the New Year arrives. Do you have any ideas or have you had any experience with the New Year before?
Honestly, I have never had any experience in Lunar New Year, but my image of Lunar New Year maybe is puppet theater. I don't know why. Like these huge puppets of dragons or something like this.
Okay. It's actually this year's the year of dragon. So,
really?
Yeah. Like.
Okay.
I think for me, because at some point in my life, I used to work with a Chinese company. So I do remember when they had this big holiday and it was like this whole week we're not going to work. And I don't know, because I talked with some of the people about it and they told me about the fireworks, about all the light and the lantern festival.
Yes.
And that also like, so I had like just this notion of it, but I didn't know like how heavy it was for like,
It's
how
not
big.
heavy. It's just a really important and fun festival for us because it's about food.
Yeah, it's like the way that the festival itself has in the culture. Yeah.
No, for me, the only contact that I have is from the friends that I have made through you, actually. Like, I also come from Taiwan, and they invite me to celebrate, and they will tell me, oh, you need to wear something red. Oh, okay, something red. Yeah, check. And then we eat a lot and delicious hot food.
Yeah, actually, the tradition of the Lunar New Year's probably came from China in the beginning, and we have continued the whole festival for about 3,000 years. For history, we were not really sure when it started, but like it's continued for about 3,000 years. So it's a really important festival for the whole, like if you are connected with like Chinese culture.
But is there any dragon puppet?
Yeah. Depends where, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm going to have a really quick overview of our celebration for these few years. I already talked about the New Year's Eve, right? And for the first day of the new year, if you are believe in the traditional beliefs, you might go to the temple to pray or just visit friend and family member around. And for the second day of the new year, for this year is February 11th. It's a day of marriage daughter to visit their natal family. Of course, eat more food at this day. For the third day, rest, eat, and sleep. Then come to the fourth day. It's the day to welcome the spirits. For the fifth day, for now is the end of the celebration. Most of the shop will open from this day. But for the ancient times, the whole New Year celebration mostly continued until a festival we call Lantern Festival. That's 15 days after the starting of the new year. For this year, I think this festival is on February 25th. We will light up lanterns and have some sweet dumplings on this day. And at most of the places, the whole New Year celebration ended. But I know in some countries, probably they will continue for a whole month. This is a very fast overview of Lunar New Year. How do you think about this festival? Do you have some similar festival like this in your countries?
I would say it's not as long. We celebrate the New Year's, and the thing that you mentioned about the preparation, that you get something new or you want to like have something new for the day, with us is definitely the outfits. Even if we don't have to go anywhere, we are just celebrating the New Year's Eve at home in our living room. We will be dressed up, like whole dress up, even on heels in your living room. Yeah, the outfits are I think the biggest investment.
Yeah, I think in Latin America that even has become a joke. Like you get ready to go, like really posh, really new outfit, the makeup, the clothes to go to your living room and see the same people that you've been sitting with the whole year.
That's so interesting because it goes the same for Persian New Year. Yeah, we have to clean our house, every corner of the house. Moms start washing all the dishes. They bring all the dishes they were hiding in the closets. I don't know if it goes to you as well. Your moms hide fancy dishes somewhere?
No, for us,
no.
For us,
No.
Mm-hmm.
So, moms usually used to, I don't know these days, but used to hide fancy dishes and use it in like really special occasions like the New Year. And they would bring all of them cleaning everything and buying new clothes to meet at the New Year.
Talking about clothes, actually, I didn't mention one thing is we don't wear black and white clothes during New Year's. Traditionally we wear red ones because if you wear black or whites, it means a little bit like bad lucks. But like for us, red is a color of celebration. So actually we have this tradition during New Year's. We're going to give, for my family, we give like older and younger red envelope. That means money. And it need to be in red envelope. You cannot be in a white envelope, black envelope. No, for white envelope actually it's for a funeral, so you cannot do it. And also I know it's like every family have different tradition. I know some friends, they didn't need to give like older people. They only need to give the younger generation. In my case, like I need to give to but traditionally I will give to my parents and my grandparents and probably my nephews, like the generation above and a generation like later, but not to my generation. Probably for you it's not money, but give like presents, right?
Yeah, it's not the same, but I think that what we can relate is the fact that for the West world, in a way of saying, we have Christmas and New Year's close to each other. So then it becomes like kind of like a week celebration, like although there are only like 2 real holidays in a way, like because they're so connected. You had the presents for Christmas, and then you had this, at least in my countries, when people start, I don't know, painting the houses or getting new furniture. It's also like that symbolism on New Year, so new way of seeing life. And because they're close to each other, we do give presents on the 24th, especially for kids. And I think mostly it's like the fact that both of them are close.
Yeah, but in Iranian culture, we have the culture of giving money. But mostly it's older people. Like if you go to the grandparents' house or your uncles and aunties' house, they would give you money. But the younger ones, no, they don't give money to other people. You have to give money to the younger generation.
Yeah, but for us it's like depends of the family. And I noticed like some families, if you're not married, you don't need to give red envelopes. But because nowadays people get married super late or they don't get married, they need to give red envelope. No, the thing is like they won't receive red envelope after they get married. Before they get married, they're going to receive red envelope. But I don't know how it will work. Like since people doesn't marry that young or they never married.
So before getting married, they would like to receive red envelope?
They can receive.
They can receive?
Like depends with family. Actually, it's a really kind of awkward discussion because actually it depends where probably you're from, your family, tradition. But yeah, mostly it's like before you there's 2 time period probably you are stop receiving red envelopes is either you graduate or you get married. Mostly it's this time, yeah.
Is it goes for you as well, like having some tradition as a so-called national thing, but being personalized by each family? Like there is some traditions, but also you have your own family way sometimes.
Probably like food, like the way of, now that's to
Yeah, it can be food.
like the way of like cooking. I know like for example like my family we cook something during New Year's that actually it shouldn't exist in New Year. It should exist on other festivals. But because like when my dad are like when he leave his house really young and he moved like far away from my grandma's place, and because he loved these dishes, so every time we went back for a celebrate New Year, my grandma always make this one, and it became kind of like a tradition of our house. But actually we don't do it like normally we don't do it like as the festival food.
I can say that for me is the grapes thingy, that we put 12 grapes in a glass, and at the time that the year change we need to eat them. Okay, that's the tradition only to that point. But then my family add up, like since we are having the grapes symbolizing every month, we need to remember every member of the family's birthday in each month. So it's actually funny because you were having the first grape and they're like, oh, who is having his birthday in January? And then like fulanito, menganito, and your auntie from, I don't know, like we are so many people. So taking 12 grapes that could be eaten in 5 minutes, it takes us half an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We did the grapes now this year. I forced them to do so. I took the grapes and we went to see the fireworks here near to the bridge. And I told them, we need to have the grapes.
And we continue the tradition, even though we are not in the country anymore.
Talking about that, it reminds me of a tradition. Actually, we don't usually do it. I think if I said something wrong, please forgive me because I'm not really familiar with this. Actually, I think for Chinese, they will make dumplings because like in our place, like my hometown, we don't do that. We eat hot pots most of the time. And for Chinese, they need to have dumplings. And in some places, not in some places, I think most of the time, in some dumplings, you make the dumplings by yourself. And in some dumplings, we will put like a new coins in the dumpling. And when you're eating the dumplings, you ate that coin, that means you're going to have luck for the next year. I think like if I mentioned something wrong, please forgive me. Yeah, it's just because it's not actually really our tradition things to do during New Year. But I know some region they do it, but probably not from the south, more from the north. I believe so. Like back home, like in my family, probably most of the north region of Taiwan, south region of Taiwan, we eat mostly hot pot. Yeah, but like the north part, they actually cook a different kind of meals. Like, and every dishes, they have their own meanings that I'm not going to explain here because it's going to take hours to explain how it's going to make. But I can make a little bit example that you should have some like fruits on the table because the fruits have their own meanings. For example, apple, because in Chinese, the word we use for apple, it kind of similar with like peaceful. And like also you should have fish on the table because fish, the words in Chinese means the sound can also mean like you have extra thing. So it's actually they're hoping have more things, have peace, and have good lucks for the next year. It's still like actually different region. We have different food, but I think the one with dumplings is really fun. I never did it, but probably this year, if since I'm celebrating with my Chinese friend here in Germany, probably we're going to do something like that. But who knows? Probably I'm going to get a coin from the dumplings.
And you also said that most of the shops are closed the first 5 days, so it means that you had to get all your ingredients beforehand? Or do you have still some small shops that are gonna be open?
Actually, supermarkets still open. Like it's not like Germany, like during Christmas and Sundays, it's all totally closed. Now, the shops I'm mentioning probably it's more like banks.
Okay.
Not police office, but yeah, banks and like some or like probably some shops are going to open shorter times during the daytime, but most of them shop, like even restaurant, probably going to be closed restaurant not, because nowadays family went out to eat, they don't cook by themselves. Actually, that's another problem for our New Year's. Like we're feeling like recently these few years we're talking about we're losing this kind of celebration feel because everyone want to go out. They didn't want to celebrate with their family that much, and probably they don't cook by themselves. They just went to a restaurant, so you feel like you're losing something from this festival. I don't know, like for your Christmas, do you think you're losing that kind of feeling sometimes?
Like New Year vibe.
Yeah, I think, for example, for New Year's, it's not that rare to have some hotels like hosting New Year's parties. So people, instead of, especially when they have small families, instead of doing all the process of cooking since the morning, they're like, okay, maybe this year, instead of spending money buying the things and the effort of cooking, we can go here, we can celebrate, we're still together. Typically when it's bigger families, it's kind of hard to do it because then everyone had to agree. But with small families, sometimes they choose to go to a hotel and then they have the celebration there. And maybe because they're a small family, they have more people to celebrate with. So, but it's not that common, but it happens sometimes, right? They prefer to do that.
By the way, we will watch TV shows all together during these times, and we will watch like different like cities how they celebrate. And there's one family that's so famous because the grandpa and the grandma lived so long. They were gathering 5 generations of people all together. That's the biggest family of the whole country, I think. And then every time you'll see this grandpa and grandma giving kids red envelope and take hours to do it because there's so many like all over, and they need to rent a whole area to do the celebration. It's like it's even more like the population is bigger than a wedding, I would say. It's really fun actually.
Is there anything that might remind you the New Year? Any kind of sense, like smell? For me, there is a special kind of a smell that reminds me my own New Year. Like a combination of cleanness and flower, something like this.
Actually, I will say fireworks.
Same. Yeah, like the smell, the smell of when the aftermath of the firework throwing, like that smell is very New Year's for me too. Yeah.
I know Germany, they love to have fireworks during New Year's, and like for like governments will do it during the normal New Year. I mean December 21st for like cities, they will do like big fireworks. But for us, I think New Year's, like the Lunar New Year's, we are going to do it by ourselves. Like you can buy some small, little or big, I don't know, like probably someone will big, like a really big setting. You have 5 or 10 minutes of fireworks. If you live in the countryside, you can do it on the shops, and you can do it by yourself. So I think it's the smell of food mixing with fireworks. Okay, so I think that's a really quick discussion and introduction of my Lunar New Year's from Taiwan. If you have any experience with the Lunar New Year, probably if you're willing to share us, please do so. Let's finish this episode with a little bit Lunar New Year's music.
条大街小巷，每个人的嘴里，
见面第一句话就是恭喜恭喜，
恭喜恭喜恭喜你呀！恭喜恭喜恭喜你！冬天已到尽头，真是好的消息。
温暖的春风就要吹醒大地。
恭喜恭喜恭喜你呀！恭喜恭喜恭喜你！恭喜你！恭喜你！好好冰雪融解，眼看梅花吐蕊。
漫漫长夜过去，听到一声集体。
恭喜恭喜恭喜你呀！恭喜恭喜恭喜你！经过多少困难，历经多少磨练，
多少心儿盼望，盼望春的消息。
恭喜恭喜恭喜你呀！恭喜恭喜恭喜你！